how to get construction cleaning projects. Are they even worth it? Not only I'm going to answer to these two questions in this video, but I'll also tell you the gear that you need to wear, the tools that you need to have, the terminology that you need to be familiar with, so that when you're talking to a construction superintendent, he or she understands that you understand the cleaning, most importantly, and the legal jargon that you need to make yourself familiar with and make sure those pointers are there in your contract when you're signing it to ensure that you're not gonna get taken advantage of and will get paid. So let's dive in. There are various ways to get the construction projects, but before I want to tell a super short story from my experience so you know whether they're worth or not and you make your own conclusion. My last employer, who I learned a lot from, was a property management and a construction company. So they had two companies and I happened to be an office manager there. The bosses are the awesomest people. I'm still in good connections with them. So I learned from them a lot, how to pre-qualify, how to see the vendors. I was the one who would cut the checks, have the owners sign and give it and pre-screen the construction companies. And when I was seeing what they were billing for the amount of work they were doing, I'm like, wow, that actually totally makes sense. And I believe that was one of the reasons why I decided to move out with the blessing from my ex-owners to start my own company, is because I saw a potential. And when I started, not only I started residential, but also focused on post-construction cleaning jobs. My very first contract was like $200 or something. It was a small amount, especially nowadays, but we're talking 15 years ago. And it was like 2-hour job. And I took a friend with myself and we knock it out. I'm like, wow, that's not bad at all. Then I got into light commercial post-construction work. And when I saw that first check, it was like $1,000 or $1,500. I'm like, whoa, that now makes sense. How much bigger can this keep growing? And then another job, and it was like $8,000 post-construction, and we were cleaning like a larger supermarkets now that were being flipped after a construction company would work. If I'm not mistaken, that was from Whiting Turner. And then we went into even larger warehouse post-construction work. And when I held a $40,000 check in my hands, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And I still remember we were on the route from Baltimore to South Carolina with my family to spend a week of vacation time. And I'm like, I'm making more money than I'm spending. And the best part, this was only half of it. I would receive another $40,000 a little later as well. For a clarification, that wasn't just the cleaning, the $80,000 that I've received, and that was a manufacturing plant. They manufactured food. We did the deep sealing of their warehouse ceilings, the joists, and then we also did like a cleaning of their appliances and the conveyor belts and equipment, but we also painted the ceiling, painted the exterior as well. However, the cleaning is how I got in. Then I was able to find the contractors to knock it out. This is why I had a $40,000 check I was going, but painters were painting, so I was literally making more money than I was spending. Another thing that I like about post-construction cleaning job, it's you're not dealing with kitchen grime and grease and caked in sticky substances and solutions as you would do with especially commercial kitchen cleaning, for example, right? Or neglected bathrooms and etc. Here, your enemy is a haze from a drywall dust and the wood dust. Those are the main things, right? So as long as you have your respirator and mask, or you let it settle, then you're picking it up. In my opinion, if you were to ask me, are construction jobs are worth it? I would say totally, yeah. They're like absolutely worth it. And the best part of it, they normally become recurring job for you because construction companies need to be selling new jobs so they can survive. And those new projects need to be final cleaned. And who gets those jobs? If you have the relationship established, then you will get them. The superintendents normally know other superintendents. They can refer you to other construction companies. And through the superintendent, you can get a hold of their office manager, whoever takes care of it, and ideally get their office as well, or construction trailers on a recurring schedule. So as you can see, this thing can blow out of proportion. I know some companies solely, like just only focus on post-construction cleaning. That's all they do and make a living, like really well living. And whenever you're bidding post-construction cleaning, the prices are higher. Let's say your hourly rate is $35 for regular commercial and it's $50 for a residential. Then on construction, you want to be a lot more, not a lot more, but like 20%, 30% more than you charge because it's just deeper construction cleaning and it entails a little bit more moving figures. However, if you were to ask me, I would say yes, day and night, as long as you're selling them at the right price and you're able to deliver on your promise, because last thing you want to do, not to deliver on your promise and not to get paid for the project and pay your guys who did the work. Okay, so now that we're done with this section, let's talk about how to get those construction projects. Number one, contrary to my belief, where I know that inbound marketing is the best in my experience, effort, money versus return on investment, in here you would have to be a little bit more proactive and you need to do push marketing, outbound marketing. And I'll explain why. Let's say when you do the inbound, you normally get somebody who doesn't have a cleaner and they're looking for a cleaner online. When you're reaching out to construction companies, they've been in the construction business for so long, they already have their vendors who do cleaning. So you need to break into that, which means you have to be persistent, you have to be faceless to some extent, just keep calling and being in their face, but not being rude, of course, and to be able to stay in their mind, top of their mind. Therefore, you're gonna do some outbound. And with cold outreach, what we're gonna do is, number one, whenever you're driving on your route, wherever you're going, just if you see a construction area, stop. Go in and ask the team, whoever is working there, ask where would the construction trailer be at. And once they point, go there and ask for a superintendent. When you get the superintendent, introduce yourself, tell them why you qualified to do this and that you specialize in construction cleaning, and then ask how to bid, and superintendent will give you a list. I know some companies like a Clark Construction bid out when the construction even before started, when it's just plain land. But in general, like other companies, when you walk in, superintendent decides who's going to do the final cleaning. So you want to become friends with the superintendent. Number two, do a Google list, search the word construction companies or general contractors in your zip code or area, and then make your own list, open a Google Sheets and start putting them. And when you go them, they have websites. Almost all of the construction companies will have like a contact us at the top, at the bottom, somewhere, and then go there and see where it says become a vendor, work with us, or become a subcontractor. That's where you want to click and follow the instructions to the teeth, however way they say, because they wanted your information presented in a specific way, and you need to present it in that specific way. Then what you'd like to do is a week from then, when you submit, if you don't hear from them, if you hear from them, it's great, right? Now you have instructions and you know what to do. So you take the ball from there. But if you don't hear from them after you fill out the form, then call them a week from them and just say, hey, I have filled out the form. Who does handle a procurement? Can I talk to them? When you get them on a call, then you just say, hey, this is what I did you receive it? And ask how to start bidding on their projects. If you leave a voicemail, then make a reminder and contact them next week or 10 days and get them on a schedule. Number three would be create email marketing list. Get those emails from your search. Normally they have like info, contact vendors, suppliers, or something at their URL, and then you want to email them. Ideally, you want to automate this process. Of course, in the beginning, if you're just starting off, you might just need to do it manually. Regardless, if you can automate, kudos to you. If not, just do it manually. I know you need to get started. Use ChatGPT or other software to come up with a drip campaign template and verbiage, and I actually happen to have a video for that. Watch it only after you finish this video and get them on a recurring email. Then also cold call, right? Cold calling is the same. It's your research. Now you can call, pick up the phone and call them and say, this is who you are. How'd you get on their vendor list so you can start bidding? This is the terminology you want to use. But in the terminology section, I'm going to dive in a little further into other specific construction related terminologies as well that you need to know. Go to networking events. Normally there's like a general contractor meetups where general contractors have tables. You want to not miss those. Go there, get to know the people, make an impression, give something, give away something easier later, and then follow their instructions how to get on their bid list. Real estate companies, or if you know real estate agents, those would be a good entry point for you as well, because real estate agents normally work with construction companies and they can put you in touch with several of them, and then through them you can increase your network of construction companies and ask for referrals. The best part of it is that company now, once you do the work, is your customer and they know others that they can refer, and then you can get their offices for cleaning as well. That would be the push marketing, right? Chamber of Networks normally have some of the construction companies as well. Inbound, my preferred way, but with construction, outbound is more effective. Inbound, you create your website, use CMS. WordPress is really good. CMS stands for Content Management Software. You can build it for free yourself, or go to Upwork or Fiverr, find a freelancer who can build the search engine optimized website for you. Go on Google Business, get the reviews from people, and when you respond to reviews, make sure you inject the proper keywords, area, location, and keyword, right? Construction cleaning services in Memphis, for example. When you're responding to them or when you optimize your Google Maps, that's important that you do that. There's a lot more related with search engine optimization. If you want a video for just how to search engine optimize properly your website, let me know. I'll put that together. And then PPCs, which are paid per click campaigns. Those are the awesome, but you want to build out a funnel, which is a landing page. When your potential general contractor is looking for a construction cleaning firm, they want to land and know ideally from the get-go who you are and what do you do, right? Don't preach your company's name, like whatever your last name, cleaning, etc. But say you specialize on general contraction cleaning and you want to create a referral with the services you offer, with the reviews, ideally a video, and etc. So that you run them through the funnel and get them signed up. And again, if you don't know how to do this, Upwork or Fiverr will have freelancers for you, and they'll reach out. Maybe I can put you in chat with some of them. Next, we're going to talk about the gear that we need. By the way, before we go to the gear, leads. A lot of people ask, do I buy the lead? I have bought leads. Like I've bought the leads from Angie's, from other companies, and even we've worked, my old company would buy the leads from them and we noticed the conversion wasn't there. The leads were ignoring us. We were getting charged a lot. I've even established and paid vendors to get me the pre-qualified companies, the frequency, the zip code, the persona that I've provided, the amount of revenue company had, and we paid up to $150 per lead, and they didn't work. Like we didn't see the return on investment. Having said that, some people are really succeeding at it, but I just didn't see it, and I wanted to share my thoughts. You do you. As far as gear needed, you want to make sure that you've got, on top of everything that you take with yourself when you go to clean, you're OSHA compliant, right? You cannot be having a sleeveless, or your pants must be covered. You cannot have a flip-flops. So you need to have a helmet whenever you go, a construction goggles when you go to a construction site, and then a vest, which is a reflective vest. That's what you want to have when you go. Gloves are optional for yourself. The boots are important. You want to have boots and normally a steel toe. So the toe has a steel. The idea is for the safety when you drive back and forth, you know, a forklift, if it hits you, it doesn't smash your toenails. And then you want to have the harness. If you're using a lift, or some companies will even ask you to use harness on like heights higher than whatever, even when you're on a lift, which sometimes it gets very absurd, I believe. And those would be the main things that you will need to have. On the next video, I am going to talk about the tools that you need and terminology that you need so you know what you talk, and then the legal verbiage. So check this video, but before you do it, stop for a second, please. Hit that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, and go here. I'll see you right here.